New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Hard we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve throw hell to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast 19-year-old Luis Guerin of Chicago, Illinois. Now, like a lot of people, Luis has a vanity plate. Now, some people try to get clever with their personalized plates, and they end up getting rejected, right? A few honorable mentions include Ass Clown, just because the two S's are the numbers 5, you didn't fool anyone. Da Poop. I don't know why that one got rejected. I like that one. McBoob.
Yeah.
RU18, which is horrible. And one of my favorites, Scrotum. Scrotum. Like, they didn't try to get clever. It just says scrotum. Well, it got rejected. But our hero, Luis, he didn't have a plate so adolescent. No, his plate simply read, run this. Well, the police took the plate suggestion and they ran it. And that's when the cops determined that the plate itself, it was fake. It wasn't even the dude put run this on a false license plate. The cops ran it. It, of course, was fake. And that prompted the officers to then search the vehicle. That search revealed 2 illegal handguns. So now Luis, he's in jail facing multiple charges, but really he's in jail for being stupid. They just don't have that as a law. But I think the judge, at his hearing, he put it best when he said, and I quote, putting a fake license plate on your car that encourages the cops to run it is not exactly a Lex Luthor level of nefariousness. How stupid can you be? Run this. And I said, okay. God damn it, man. You embarrass humans. Yeah. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throw-Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Jeff, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of 1 of 3 stories. We have The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's try Bite Me this time.
Just eat it. Get yourself.
All right. You might regret this decision, but here is your story. A tourist who dined at the Bull and Bear restaurant inside the Waldorf Astoria, he claims that he found something foreign inside of his steak. Something so vile, something so revolting, we can't even bring ourselves to say what it is. Now, the tourist in question, a German man named Axel, he says that he had dined at the famed restaurant on a Friday night and ordered a meal of steak and spinach. Well, he spoke exclusively to Eyewitness News, claiming that hidden in his food was something terrible. He says, quote, I had it in my mouth, chewed it, and nearly swallowed it. He then adds, this is so disgusting, I've felt sick ever since. Now, the diner says he rinsed his mouth with brandy, then went to the bathroom to vomit. Nice. He says the hotel then called an ambulance, and he claims the doctor in the emergency room cut the object in half and confirmed that it was what he thought it was. Now, he was then tested for hepatitis at a hospital and was told to be tested for AIDS in 2 months.
Oh, man.
So keep in mind, Waldorf Astoria isn't even saying this didn't happen. The doctors confirmed it. Waldorf's been tight-lipped. Anyway, what was the offending thing that he found in his steak? Was it a human finger, a Band-Aid, a bloody tampon, or a condom? So human finger, Band-Aid, bloody tampon, or a condom. Sadly, one of those is what he found in his steak.
That is a lot of information. So
Yes, it is,
better
man.
than some of them. The Waldorf, steak and spinach, something that he chewed up, didn't swallow, but they cut it in half and found, what was the cut it in half part, Phil?
The doctor, so he brought this thing to the hospital when he went. He brought the offending object. The doctors cut it in half because it had been cooked, but they cut it in half to confirm that it's what he thought it was.
Wow.
Finger, Band-Aid, condom, and what else?
Bloody tampon.
Oh, man. I'm thinking finger. Tampon, you got to figure would blow up. A Band-Aid wouldn't be able to get cut in half. And I don't know if a condom would make it cook in a steak. But what do you guys think? Let's hear from the peanut gallery.
Jeff, I'm going to join you. If you're going to go finger, I'm going finger. I think they gave him the finger.
Yeah, you join me with the finger.
All right, you know what? I'll go with
Clean sweep?
tampon.
Tampon.
Oh, we're going wow, okay.
I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of blood. Maybe they didn't notice it because maybe got it rare and it was bloody already.
Okay.
We're going to find out what this guy found on his steak. Was it a finger, Band-Aid, bloody tampon, or condom? Next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories by me on profile. This tourist found something in his steak at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. He almost swallowed it, started chewing it, realized something was wrong. He did not. Took it to the doctors where they cut into it and confirmed what it was. Question is, what did he bite into? Finger, Band-Aid, a bloody tampon, or a condom?
Well, Jeff, that is the very question that we posed to you, but let us begin. But Jeff, you agreed with Miles. That was a finger.
Oh, no.
It was not a finger, which is good news. Ted, you went tampon. Oddly enough, on the text line, everyone's hoping it's a tampon.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Well, just because it seemed like he had diseases, and it's like, right, if there's human blood in your steak.
Yeah, there's a test for hepatitis and AIDS. That's what the doctor told her. Straight up.
Okay, hepatitis is scary, too. That can live for a minute.
We move on. Now for all TV news all time for TV time of 10.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right. Your choices this week, you could have Bill Maher. Weekend Update. The Gym is
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. All these guys have teams of talents and writers who help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Last year, Subway closed more than 1,000 locations in the U.S. 1,000 stores is a lot. That's over 50,000 footlogs of retail space.
Fallon. Seth Meyers.
Fallon.
Last year, Subway closed more than 1,000 locations in the U.S. 1,000 stores is a lot. That's over 50,000 footlongs of retail space.
Drew Barrymore has apologized for joking comments she made about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation case. Now she would just apologize for making 50 first dates with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
That is me. I thought that was close to Marish enough.
They've only done 75 movies together, so you could have picked a handful.
Right.
Yeah, that's just the one on it now. It's like, it kind of sucks. Sorry, Mike. Snapple has announced they're going to rebrand its Diet Snapple drinks to Snapple Zero Sugar. Don't worry, it'll still taste like the drink you've never tried. Fallon.
SNL.
That's Fallon.
Well, get this. Snapple announced that it's going to rebrand its Diet Snapple drinks as Snapple Zero Sugar. Don't worry, it'll still taste like the drink you've never tried.
Ironically enough, I had one yesterday. It was delicious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, my buddy were like, I've never even seen these. Let's try it.
Taste like diet, or does it just taste good?
Now, this was it was almost like a water. So I'm thinking maybe they have a couple new products out, but it was like a water that had flavors in it. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see here. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Some people like that. Some people don't. And Elon has said everyone's worried about nothing. Twitter is going to remain a place where something you brain farted when you're in junior high can haunt you for the rest of your life.
Weekend update.
Kimmel.
Bill Maher.
Elon Musk bought Twitter. Twitter is out. Some people like it. It's a kind of, some people like it, some people don't. Elon said, everybody's worrying about nothing. Twitter is going to remain a place where something you brain farted when you were in junior high can haunt you for the rest of your life. So stop worrying.
Amazon stock just crashed after the company reported a loss of nearly $4 billion. Amazon stock is crashing. Netflix stock is crashing. Now, everyone who invested in Beanie Babies is like, well, who's the financial wizard now?
Weekend update.
Fallon.
That's Fallon.
Amazon stock just crashed after the company reported a loss of nearly $4 billion. Amazon stock is crashing. Netflix stock is crashing. Right now, everyone who invested in Beanie Babies is like, well, who's the financial genius now?
It's also tough to say they're crashing. They're just not doing as well.
They've lost money. Yeah, Amazon's just fine.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Let's see. So I don't know if you guys heard this. Did you guys ever watch that 70s show?
Yes.
All right. Pretty good show. Mm-hmm. Everybody liked it. It had a long run there. So Netflix is doing a sequel series called The 90s Shows. All right. So you knew Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp were coming back as Red and Kitty. But now, basically, it sounds like most of the original show will at least make guest appearances.
Okay, good.
So Topher Grace will be in there, Mila Kunis will be in there, Ashton Kutcher will be in there. I almost forget that's where Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis came.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was our first introduction to him, yeah.
Yeah, Laura Prepon?
I believe it's Prepon.
She'll be there.
Excuse me, sir.
And Wilmer Valderrama, who was Fez. They'll all be making guest appearances. Basically, Danny Masterson, who's on trial for stand trial for 3 counts of rape.
Yeah. Probably not showing up a bit.
Right. So he's not going to do that. He denies the charges. But, I was like, right. As soon as I saw the headline on this article, most of the crew's back. Yeah, probably not the dude on trial.
Not Danny.
The pesky rape thing.
Gets you every time.
Yeah. And he's a big, I know he's big in, Scientology and all this stuff.
Yes, so is Prepon.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She just doesn't strike everyone as crazy, but sure.
All right. Well, that's it. Do you know anybody in Scientology who's not in Hollywood?
I've
Not
never
personally.
met someone who's like, oh, I'm into Scientology. Right. The only people you ever hear about are people that are big, But Scientology is also pretty secretive. It's not like there's 8 of them in every city. You know what I mean?
Also have to admit that there's nobody that I really know that is seriously as religious as they might say they are.
Well, of course.
That really go to church. That really practice what they preach. That really are, maybe my brother. That's bless you.
Yeah. I got a couple of family members that are, 7 days a week in the choir, the whole nine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's just weird. In all my travels and stuff, I never met somebody that's like, oh, I'm a Scientologist. Whereas, you meet Catholic people, Jewish people,
Got no problem telling
Islamic people. Right. Almost everybody with religion really doesn't mind telling you.
Yeah, I'm Pastafarian. Okay.
Pastafarian?
It's Rigatoni Day.
Right. You haven't heard of that one?
No, but I'm in.
I don't know what the whole deal is, but somehow they got this thing legally recognized.
Oh, that they're...
And again, I don't know what the deal is, what the sales pitch is, but yeah.
Rastafarian's kind of interesting, too. It's you just kind of grow up and people are like, oh, yeah, it's a religion where they smoke weed. Also, no meat.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't join.
Which kind of sucks, man. I got the munchies. I really want bacon, but it's a slippery slope.
It is.
Smoke weed, but don't eat this.
Really, all there is lamb in Jamaica anyway.
Yeah, but lamb's delicious.
Lamb and chicken.
And goat. Right, as a curry goat's pretty big in Jamaica, isn't
if
it?
you can eat fish, if you can be pescatarian, you're good. If you can eat chicken, you're okay. But other than that, it's pretty well just lamb.
Yeah, well, they can't eat any of it. You learn stuff every day on that. Either way, the 90s show will be 10 episodes, takes place in Wisconsin in 1995. It's about Leah, the daughter of Eric and Donna. She spends the summer with her grandparents, Red and Kitty.
Was that the blonde chick? The blonde older sister, or is this a new character altogether?
Donna?
Yeah.
No, Donna is Laura.
Right, Prepon. Okay, my bad, right.
Right, so that's the thing. The original parents are showing back up because they're the grandparents. So that's going to be the base of it. But for 10 episodes, they're everybody else will show up at some point.
Of course.
But I think it's mainly just about the grandkid now being in Wisconsin, living with them.
Okay.
And also just what was going on in the 90s. What was popular.
Yeah, of course.
It's always about the
That's
era,
the fun of it.
The cars, the TV shows, what's popular. You forget, then you get that, oh yeah, that was the 90s.
Hence Rob Lowe.
Check out this band, Nirvana.
Right, you'd imagine that'd be in there. Right, you're right. The music from the 70s to the 90s is completely different. And it takes place in 1995. So that's kind of like to me, that's still like the era of like, the East Coast, West Coast rap battles.
Yeah, because it's still making its way, so to speak.
Right, like unfortunately Big and Pac are dead by then, but like that's,
And unfortunately Collective Soul, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Diddy's out there in all his shiny, like, giant suits and everything. Like that, I don't know. That was the era for that genre of music. Not to say that people don't still like rap and everything. I sound
it's just different.
Right, I sound like the old guy. I think rock people do the same thing where you're like, you know what I mean? Like there's like that era in like the late 90s or late 70s, early 80s, right? Where you kind of have like Sabbath's on top of the world, Zeppelin, all those.
Yeah, the 70s, right? Zeppelin, Floyd, Sabbath, all that kind of thing. Then the 80s, the hair metal thing. The 90s, we get to the grunge thing. Then new metal, and then however you want to categorize it now, which I have no idea.
90s also had a lot of Goo Goo Dolls, Toad the Wet Sprockets.
But I never considered them rock.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But they sure were played on rock stations.
I know.
They were
For some reason, they must have. I don't know how they did it. It's a miracle.
They did. And they were played on a lot of rock stations. I told you, I saw Johnny Resnick, unfortunately, get hit with a shoe once.
Oh.
Spin doctors.
Yeah, but it was one of those things, right? It's like there was a famous station in D.C. called DC 101, right?
Yeah.
Famous for rock, this and that. So they would have this chili cook-off. But, I mean, it's June, I want to say, right? You're talking the nation's capital. Everybody's on asphalt. You can see the Capitol building right there. And people are drinking heavily all day. And then you're going to have a concert. But they had, like, I'll just say harder bands. And then by the time the Goo Goo Dolls came out, like, people were just a mess throwing and everything. And you've heard the story, but he just goes, somebody throws one more thing, we're walking off. I mean, before he can even finish the line, boom, shoe hits him in the chest and he walked off.
You got to, like, start with the Goo Goo Dolls. If you're having a heavier line, like, start with them. People go, yeah, okay, because I'm not hammered yet.
Then bring Bad Brains out.
Yeah, something.
Then bring Massive Attack out.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think earlier in the day, people would have been fine with it, but, right, like, nobody really cared about, something Black Balloon by that point. Or Iris. You could tell, I like the Goo Goo Dolls.
Did you?
Oh, of course.
God damn it, Ted.
I know. You would always say you liked them before with their first album.
They put out their first album as like this punk rock album, man. I remember me and Leon put this thing on. We're like, this band's awesome. So they put, was it a boy named Goo? Is that whatever?
Yeah.
So we heard, hey, the Goo Goo Dolls putting out a second album. We're like, sweet. Because this is an underrated band. We, honest to God, had to do research to find out if it was the same band. So I mean, this can't be the same band.
Yeah.
This would be like if Justin Timberlake came out with like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Like now you look at him.
Justin Timberlake who?
That can't be the same face.
Yeah. Well, that part definitely not.
This is kind of interesting. Amazon's coming out with the first ever James Bond series.
Okay.
But it's not a show. It's actually a reality show. 007's Road to a Million. Basically, kind of sounds like The Amazing Race, right? You got two-person teams going on a global adventure to different locations that were used in the filming of the James Bond movies.
If you have to travel around to the locations of any movie franchise, I think I'd pick James Bond.
Yeah, I feel like if I was in this competition, though, like once we got to Morocco, like just leave me.
Now, understand, I'm playing the game for the same reason you are. Like, I want to get to a specific destination, and I didn't do so well. I overslept. I got drunk. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm just here in Monaco now.
Maybe they saved that toward the end.
They do.
We know why you're here.
They have to compete in some physical obstacles and answer hidden questions in order to advance the next challenge. But pretty cool. Grand prize is $1.3 million, which is $1 million in British pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to start production on that. That's a good call, though. Like, if you're going to have a movie franchise to go to.
I mean, every once in a while, it's some guy's hiding in the Arctic. I understand you don't want to be there. That'll probably be one of the locations. But overwhelmingly, it seems like my man's in the Mediterranean, off the coast of Spain. They don't send them to ugly places.
Right, and if you did it with, like, I don't know, like the Lord of the Rings stuff, like you'd basically just be in one location.
Yeah, you're in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You do it with Star Wars, they'll send you to the Tunisian desert. Would not want to be there.
Yeah, now I'm trying to rack my brain. Could you even do this with another? Is there anything that, like, movie series as long as Bond's been?
Right, you got,
I guess Batman.
Fast and the Furious, you can do Batman. The problem with the Batman movies, Batman fights 4 people in one city. He doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Justice League, he had to go somewhere to find someone, but otherwise they're right back in New York City, and it's only ever raining.
Right. I do think the Bond thing, though, is like just places they filmed.
Right.
So I know, like, the Christian Bale Batman, when that came out, they filmed that one in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got stuck on the wrong side of the Chicago River.
I mean, I like Chicago, but I wouldn't want to be stuck there, you know? If you're on the James Bond one, I'm pissed that I'm part of the Batman one. Fast and Furious, I want to say they've been some places, right?
Yeah, they had Tokyo Drift.
There you go. Little something.
Bond was in space, Moonraker.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. There's just not many movie franchises that have as many movies as
That is a fair point.
Beauty of a Kill
As
Paris,
Bond.
I think.
I would do Indiana Jones. He gets some cool locales.
Man, it was
because a little
hot.
more survive. I know, but man, like just as far as things I'm probably not going to see in my life, like cool, I'm in the jungle, man. And after I get bitten by a few mosquitoes, like get me the hell out of here. But at least it's somewhere exotic.
Yeah, my issue with Indiana Jones is it's always so snaky.
Okay, right. If you don't like snakes, that's probably not the movie franchise that you, because everywhere they go, it's snake heavy.
Right, and that's just kind of one of the jokes in those films, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always snakes involved.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, I can watch it more now, but as a kid, that was always pretty weird. Like, why does he have to have
Ooh,
snakes?
somebody here, a pretty good one. They said the Bourne movies, Bourne Identity, Bourne. So they're
That's a good call.
Or what's the one with Tom Cruise? He keeps making them.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossibles. They get to go to a lot of cool places. It's more Europe, so it's more the historical stuff. It's not really jungle, but still, like, I would do that.
Right, so basically you need a real human superhero like that.
Basically.
Right, because like Marvel superheroes and...
You can't go where they go because they're in the multiverse, Ted.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Right, but you're right.
Would you go if they said, look, through an accident of physics, we have in fact discovered the multiverse. Now we have a reality show. Like, that's one I'm not going on.
And who can forget the Griswolds? They were in Vegas. They were in Europe.
Europe, yeah.
That's a good call, Miles.
They went to California.
Right, you already said Vegas, right?
Not a
It's not
bad
bad.
franchise.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, Wally World is just supposed to be Disneyland.
It is.
Yeah, you take
Yeah. Let's see. So, if you're gonna
Jurassic Park, sorry. Keep in mind, there's no real dinosaurs, but if you get... actually, I want to say they film most of those in Hawaii, right?
I believe I'm
think
quiet.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hell, I'll take it.
Let's see. If you're a hockey fan, if you're a Kraken fan, well, the season's over. But if you just like hockey, good news. The playoffs are starting tonight. You got some NBA playoffs thrilled just for you. Brand new episode of
American, All-American.
All-American. For people that actually watch it. But, yeah, hockey playoffs, if you never watch, even if you're not the biggest hockey fan, I don't know how to explain it. NHL playoffs are awesome.
Yeah.
Everything's more intense, and you'll enjoy it.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Now, good news in England is just last year, 2,000 dentists up and quit their job. Meanwhile, the National Park Service here releases a PSA so a bison won't cause your body to throb. Texas driver comes up with a unique way to bring his lumber home. Florida woman pulled over for DUI breaks out and dance like a club with foam. And a DoorDash delivery driver saves a customer's life. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Top story, we go to Florida, where officers responded to calls of a rear ending. They showed up on the scene to find a woman visibly intoxicated and with slurred speech. They pulled her out of the car and conducted a field sobriety test, even though she was unstable on her feet. And after instructing her to stand on one leg, she decided to up the ante and began doing an Irish jig for officers as well as some ballet dance moves.
Always the best plan.
Indeed. This didn't sway officers, however, and she was arrested. My guess, here's the only thing that I could put this together, she's like, no, see, I'm totally good with my balance. Look at me dance. Like, guys, let's just get this over with. Like, you look crazy.
That is my guess as well, right.
Every time that you're trying to just prove how sober you are, you're not helping the case. Because you know what? Sober people don't do that.
Sober people just want to get the hell out of Dodge as soon as they can.
Right.
Here's the test. Give me my license back. I'm out of here.
Exactly.
I'm going to dance you an Irish jig.
Oh, man, my mistake. She's sober.
Was that Ashley Simpson?
Yes.
Right on SNL?
When her CD skipped or whatever?
Yeah, she just started doing this. Like, why are we going Irish jig as a way to get out of everything?
Is that how we do? Is that what we do now? If you're in trouble, do the Irish jig. Guy's going to mug you, break into the Irish jig.
It's doggone Mel Blanc's fault, man. That was the Looney Tunes way to go. Like, if things went awry, you just freaking pulled out a hat and cane and away you go. Do a little jig on your way out.
Yeah, but in Looney Tunes, they had the one thing that we never have, which is instant props.
Yeah, fair enough.
They could reach into their coat pocket and pull out the top hat and cane. And if you did that, I'd be like, you know what? Go ahead home, man. You're that prepared.
All right, man. Get out of here. In other news, to Massachusetts, where a DoorDash driver is being commended for their quick thinking. The woman was delivering a pizza to a house when she noticed that the woman had placed the order, was laying on the floor inside with blood spilling out of her head.
She was on the porch. She was waiting outside.
Oh,
so it wasn't quick thinking. It was you walk up to deliver the food. There's a person laying on the ground.
Okay,
I read head wide open in a puddle of blood.
I read that she opened the door, and I mistook that. Right,
Yeah.
She's on the porch.
She's on the porch.
She shouted for the woman's husband, who was asleep in another room, and called 911. Having a little background knowledge in EMT training, she was able to work with medics over the phone to basically become the first responder for the woman, who made it to the hospital, underwent several surgeries, and survived. And I didn't do it too much credit when I wrote this out. Like she called up authorities, and they were like, "Can you keep her stable there while we get there?" She was not responsive when she checked her. Like, eyes are rolled in the back of her head. She's not having any signs. Like, this woman is pretty well dead. She figured out just by the coagulation of the blood on the porch that she had been out for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, two things. One, then why are you driving for DoorDash?
Right.
Like the coagulation of the blood, that's pretty solid. And then beyond that, I hope they got a big ass tip.
They did. DoorDash actually gave her $1,000.
Oh, damn.
And I think there's a local EMT training facility, something like that was like, hey, we'll go ahead, just fund you coming through here and getting the rest of your training.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I got to start saving people instead of ignoring them.
To the internet, where the National Park Service has attempted to make things even easier for stupid people. They posted a graphic to their Instagram page that helps people know the boundaries when it comes to animal encounters with a simple 2-column do and do not graphic featuring such scenarios as a silhouetted man standing in front of a bear with a selfie stick and the words nope written over it. Mm-hmm. Next to a picture of what he should be doing, which is the picture of the same silhouetted man taking a photo from a distance with a helpful good job affirmation.
At the point that we need to do this, don't do it.
Right.
It's one thing if it's a kid's thing, you go, all right, guys, these are adults.
Right.
If you got to tell them, don't tell them.
There are certain things that, you know what, we can go ahead and try to beat natural selection with, fine. Others, like that, just you let them go ahead.
Right. I'm not sure that they obviously did this for a reason. I know it's
they did it for a reason.
For us, but I think that really needed to be done.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If that needs to be done for adults, don't do it.
Right.
Well, people really struggle, too, with, especially with, bears, and people feed them and this and that. It's like, you can't feed them because they just get used to, getting stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they get way too comfortable around humans, and then you get attacks.
Right.
And the bears.
Yeah.
Right. And then you lose bears as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the end of it. It's like people are like, well, I'm trying to help the bear. It's like, well, the bear's going to be killed now.
Right.
Because you didn't follow the original rule, which was don't feed them.
Yep. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Men's Room Happy Hour is up next exclusively on the Odyssey app. We'll see you there.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, hell. We be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so, give or take. Don't hold us to it. In the meantime, please, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.